up everyone, this is Draco Evolve here, back yet again with some latest Manchester United transfer news. Now, for those of you that's joining in, you'll notice something a little bit different. Right below me it is a join button. I finally created one. For those of you who want to support the channel, please do go ahead. That will keep the content flowing at the same time and give a lot more motivation as well. One of the perks that I did include is that by signing into the level 1 section, which is the only thing at the moment, you'll have a bit of a shout out as well towards the end of the video, a list of names, so do consider it if you feel like supporting the channel further. But jumping onto the news, we got a few things to go through. Jumping onto the thumbnail news, this is according to La Repubblica. Manchester United are in pole position to sign Kalidou Koulibaly according to this report. So I'm just going to read you out the article. Napoli reportedly wants £80 million for Kalidou Koulibaly, with Manchester United believed to be leading the chase for the defender. Koulibaly has regularly been linked with a move to the Premier League, with Liverpool also believed to be keen on the centre-back. United registered their interest last summer with a €100 million bid believed to have come from the Red Devils before Harry Maguire was signed. An Italian outlet, La Repubblica, now report that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side are in pole position to sign the defender this summer. It's claimed that talks between the clubs did not end last summer, but were instead postponed for 12 months, with Napoli wanting around £80 million. And the interesting thing about, I don't know how reliable La Repubblica is, but the interesting thing about that is La Repubblica is run by Napoli. If things are to be believed, which is quite interesting, you know, that if La Repubblica coming out and saying that Koulibaly is probably Manchester United's #1 target, they are in pole position, there is probably an element of truth to that. Napoli, you know, did confirm, and Koulibaly did confirm that he is most likely to be leaving this summer transfer window. I've covered Koulibaly in my last few videos, you know, reading out the reports that has been coming out. Look, in my opinion, he's a luxury centre-back to have. Luxury in a way that £80 million is a lot of money for another centre-back to spend, having spent that much on Harry Maguire. However, I think it's something that we do need to have a look at. We do need to address, because outside of Lindelof and Maguire, we do not have any other centre-backs, right? I mean, technically we do have, but Eric Bailly is always injured. Phil Jones is trash. Chris Smalling is out on loan. Marcus Rojo is also out on loan, with the latter two looking likely that they will probably leave the club or stay at their respective clubs beyond their loan deals. That leaves us with Tuanzebe, who's young and who's also injured. Now, I've said my theory around Lindelof. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of Victor Lindelof. I think he's a very good defender. However, I do not believe that he's the type of defender that can help you win or challenge for big trophies over a course of the season. There always seems to be a mistake in him. I think he's still young, not I think, but he's still young. He's still learning, guys. So, you know, don't you know, burn me over it. But imagine having someone like Koulibaly and Harry Maguire as a starting centre-backs, with Lindelof being young. He can easily rotate between the two, right? Beyond Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, as I said, there's nobody else. Kalidou Koulibaly will come and add so much experience, so much power and pace to the centre-back position, which will complement our captain Harry Maguire for sure. You look at Harry Maguire's weaknesses. His main weakness is pace. Now, in the Premier League, pace is quite important. And Harry Maguire, you know, his positioning might be great. His aerial abilities might be great. His passing range and tackling might be great. But if defenders target him and run around him, they are most likely to get away from him. And it also stops us from pushing too high up, you know, having the defensive line push too high up, because both Lindelof and Harry Maguire are not the fastest defenders in the world. Certainly not at Manchester United compared to the other Premier League rivals, right? Now, if Koulibaly was to come in, he can definitely compensate for that little weakness that we have. Not only will he be adding experience, he'll also be adding his passing range, pace, strength and power. And Being the age that he is, he's 29 years of age, he can give a solid 3-4 seasons to Manchester United. And that wouldn't mean Victor Lindelof will not get any starting games. There are 50-60 plus games a season across all competitions. If Manchester United want to challenge for the Premier League, they want to get into the Champions League and be up there with the big boys, they need at least 3 to 4 top centre-backs, at least minimum 3 centre-backs, that is capable to rotate around and yet bring quality into the team. Does Phil Jones bring quality into the team when he comes on? No. Does Eric Bailly does? Maybe he does sometimes, but not all the time, not very consistent for me at all. And that's it. You know, who are you going to play if Maguire gets an injury or Lindelof gets an injury? It will look like a bit of a shambles if that's the case. Having Koulibaly will plug a lot of gaps. But as I said, I think there are other places in our team that is a priority, like your right wing position. Signing Koulibaly for like £80 million is a bit of an overkill in my opinion, if we do not address much needed, say, right wing or central midfield positions first and foremost. The reason why I say this is because Koulibaly, having been potentially cost that much, will definitely have an impact on our finances for other positions, right? If you're looking at the reports like Jadon Sancho, who cost upwards of £100 million, and Koulibaly potentially around £80 million, that's almost £200 million on 2 players there. That still needs some addressing to in terms of, in my opinion, a striking position and a CDM position. Those are 2 priorities outside of right wing position in my opinion. Koulibaly will be a luxury signing, one that I would love to see, but one that is not 100% needed at the moment based on the other positions that we have to cover. That's the latest around Kalidou Koulibaly, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Would you take Kalidou Koulibaly for an £80 million? Would you take him over signings, for example, if you have to cut back on a bit of spending on other areas? Would you still take him? Do you believe Koulibaly will add so much quality to our centre-back positions? Or do you believe that Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire is the way to go? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Excuse me. Next up, we have an ESPN report. So this is according to the ESPN. Manchester United are interested in signing AS Monaco and France centre forward Wissam Ben Yedder in the summer transfer window. The 29-year-old enjoyed 3 fruitful seasons with the La Liga outfit, scoring 70 goals in 138 appearances before AS Monaco signed him up last summer, and Ben Yedder has been an instant hit in the Principality outfit, making a huge impression in his debut season. Things to be moving in the right direction for the club under Solskjaer, obviously after they have before the pandemic hit in. But according to this report, let me read on. I'm not going to read the whole thing. The centre forward position is one where Solskjaer and co should look to bolster this summer. In Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial and Mason Greenwood, they have 3 options who have been performing very well this season. Indeed, among the 3, they have managed 47 goals across all competitions. There we go. Nice bit of correction from the article there. However, the Red Devils suffered badly when Martial and Rashford are injured, hence why they are interested in signing the 29-year-old prolific striker. Look, Ben Yedder, I've watched him a few times. He's a good striker. He's very pacey. He's got a mind in striker's mind in him as well. Striker's mind as in he knows when to go, when to stop, when to be around the box, what position to take up. His experience. He's not the type of striker that will come in and will demand probably first team every week in, week out, which will allow the likes of Anthony Martial to rotate, Mason Greenwood to have some development time, and taking a bit of a pressure away from Mason Greenwood's shoulders as well. As I said, we do need a striker. Igalo's situation does seem like a dire. There are reports coming out that Odion Igalo's loan deal will be ended and he will be going back. But Manchester United seem to be relaxed on it. Why are they so relaxed on it? Maybe in the background they are working on a deal to bring in a striker that will obviously fit Solskjaer's philosophy. But also, in my opinion, it's important that someone who comes in, who's happy to play a bit of a rotational role, not demand the first team start. Where does that leave Anthony Martial? Where does that leave Mason Greenwood? Let's have a look at Wissam Ben Yedder's stats. As you can see, he's 29 years old, centre forward position, 31 games, 19 goals, 99 assists, which is a very good return for a striker. Obviously, playing in the French league, it's not the strongest of leagues in the world, but a stopgap between Martial and Mason Greenwood is someone that we definitely need up front. You can see when Anthony Martial and Rashford got injured, how much we have suffered. And also the strikers between all three, as the article states, 47 goals across whole season. That's between three strikers, which is not good enough. And this guy almost got 40% of that goal on his own, you can say. Obviously, there are reports coming out that Raul Jimenez is being pursued by Real Madrid as well. I mean, that's another striker that I would love to have, probably more so over Ben Yedder, given the fact that he's Premier League proven and he's more prolific than Ben Yedder as well. But Wissam Ben Yedder, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you guys want to take a player like Wissam Ben Yedder, giving him a chance in the Premier League? You know, he has been a success wherever he went. Not very much of a standout player, but he has done the job wherever he went. Okay, so this next up is a bit around Paul Pogba. So apparently Manchester United have been sent packing by Inter Milan in regards to Paul Pogba and Milan Skriniar. Pogba has been heavily linked with a return to Italy in recent months after a fourth season back at United that has been wrecked by two-foot injuries. Meanwhile, the Red Devils have reportedly been tracking Inter's £52 million rated defender Skriniar, who has been told that he will be sold for a hefty fee when the transfer window reopens. According to the journalist, United have devised a swap deal involving Skriniar and Paul Pogba that it was hoped would suit both parties. However, Inter have rejected the proposal, and it is instead claimed that Juventus trio Ramsey, Costa and Rabiot or all players will be considered in an alternative swap arrangement. Look, I'll say it straight up. This article is a bit of a bullshit, you know. No one in their right mind will send someone like Paul Pogba in a direct swap deal with Milan Skriniar. Look, Milan Skriniar is a fantastic player. I've said I'm a huge fan of him, but Paul Pogba is world class. You know, no matter what we think about him at the moment, he is world class. And I think Inter Milan, if offered a straight swap deal with Paul Pogba and Skriniar, they'll probably give Skriniar and another player, Lautaro Martinez, at the same time. And that's how much of a Paul Pogba value is. So this, according to this article, is and the journalist, I think it's just a load of crap. Also, Juventus, we have covered that video in a few months ago where Juventus want to offer 3 players in exchange for Paul Pogba. Again, those 3 players are not good enough, or the profile doesn't suit for them to come in and improve Manchester United. You look at someone like Adrian Rabiot that is being touted to be one of the swap deals. He's got a bit of an attitude problem. We don't need that at the club at the moment. Aaron Ramsey, again, probably past it, and Douglas Costa maybe is the quality one out of the 3, but I will not swap Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba, I think, in my opinion, should be given a chance at Manchester United to perform alongside Bruno Fernandes. If after that he throws his toys out of the pram, then maybe just get rid of him, or just get rid of him for a hefty fee and bring in a player that wants to play at Manchester United. Simple as that. So we did touched on Raul Jimenez a little bit, but according to some reports that I think Barcelona, there are several targets for Raul Jimenez. Juventus are amongst the admirers as well, and who's likely to be moved move into the next transfer window. While the Times recently linked with him as a target for Manchester United. We've talked about him. I'm not going to cover it too much because I talked about him with Ben Yedder. I'm a fan of him. He's Premier League proven. He's not going to come in and absolutely demand week in, week out starts, which will be a stopgap also for Anthony Martial, who's still developing, and also Mason Greenwood, who can have a lot of pressure alleviate off his shoulders, you can say. So that's the news around Raul Jimenez. Rabbi Matondo, so I've covered him in my videos recently, but this is what he has come out to say in regards to being linked. He said, I haven't really thought about it like that. I just want to do well at Schalke and give what they have invested in me. I just want to give my all, and whatever happens in the future happens. Never say never. I have never heard of this kid before this, but there are a host of clubs that are interested in him. He has a release clause in this for about £46.5 million, or 60 million euros. Man City are after him. There are likes of Dortmund also in the mix, and this is according to the Manchester Evening News. He is a right winger. He's a backup option apparently to Jadon Sancho. Look, you know, a club of stature of Manchester United. He's a business club at the end of the day, and in recent years that is for sure. If you don't have backups of your main targets, then you have failed already, you know. And I think we've seen that numerous times over the transfer windows. If Jadon Sancho is not a possibility, there are loads of other players out there, maybe not on the level as Jadon Sancho in that particular position, but you need to have backups, man. I don't know who Rabbi Matondo is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know who the hell he is, and yeah, let's take it from there. Last bit of news is Timo Werner. So this is coming out from Owen Hargreaves that obviously Timo Werner is favouring a move to Liverpool, but Manchester United have been linked as well. But Owen Hargreaves has come out and said that he should go to Manchester United, basically. So he's got this to say. Well, he's not going to get past Bobby Firmino, who is one of my favourite players to watch. I think that's the thing. Wherever he goes, he has to play. With the way Manchester United play right now, I could see him there. They need a number 9. Chelsea could be a good fit. I just think he's a perfect for Liverpool in a way that, but he's not guaranteed to start. If he's happy rotating in the front 3, then yes, he'd be a great fit for Jurgen Klopp. And I think that's the thing that Timo Werner needs to accept if he goes to Liverpool, that he will play a rotational role. He will not go ahead of Firmino or the front 3 week in, week out. But if he's a fan of Liverpool, if he's a fan of Jurgen Klopp, then I don't think he will have so much of an issue playing a rotational role. However, if Manchester United do get into his head, offer him starting positions, building projects, and sell the last 2 months or a month, sell the last 2 months of our season before the pandemic hit, I'm sure we can get someone like Timo Werner in at Old Trafford. Again, he's a young striker. We will potentially have 3 young strikers if he ends up coming in. But look, 3 young strikers, 1 position. All 3 of them pretty much can play across the front 3. Loads of games across the season. Why not? You know, Timo Werner is a fantastic player. He's got a shot on him. He's got a great left foot. He can equally shoot on the right foot as well. He will be a great luxury to have. In an ideal situation, yes, I will take him. But in a realistic situation, I think Timo Werner is probably going to be Liverpool bound. It's going to be tough for us to take him off him. But that's all the latest Manchester United transfer news. Now, leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you're feeling very generous, smash the like button. As always, stay far funny.